boys and girls. Hello. Good evening once again. I mean, it might be morning where you are, but it is evening here in Nottingham. Thank you for tuning in to our readings of the Bible Stories series. Today we'll be on lesson 10. I think this is the last lesson on creation. How much I've enjoyed the stories on creation. So this is the end to our part 1 on creation. If you want to follow along the story, it says the fairest creature of creation. I don't know if you can see. I'm trying to zoom in. Maybe, I don't know. But it says the fairest creature of creation. And you can read along in Genesis 1 verse 31, Genesis 2 verse 18 or 20 to 23. Good day, dear Jesus. This day is for you. We ask you to bless all we think, say, and do. Amen. Story 10. Fairest creature of creation. As Adam watches the animals lying in the warm sunshine or playing happily in the meadows, he soon notices that they are in pairs. Every animal has a mate. Beside the majestic lion strides a sleek and slender lioness. Behind the antlered stag moves a graceful doe. With the powerful bull is a gentle cow. Near the tiger is a tigress. Close to the bear is a she-bear. Not far from Mr. Rabbit is Mrs. Rabbit. And it is so with the giraffes and zebras, the rhinos and the antelopes, the opossums and the squirrels. Only Adam is alone. Of course, the animals are friendly to him as they can be. When he calls to them, they stop and look at him with their great, big, wondering eyes. But they cannot say a word in return. The little dogs seem to understand him best, and it is clear that it wants ever so badly to speak. But all it can do is wiggle and jump about and bark and wag its tail. Sorry. Many times Adam must have wondered why he had no mate. Perhaps he began to search for one. Perhaps out of the ache of his heart, he called and called, hoping that someone like him might hear his voice and answer. Perhaps he half expected to see some beautiful creature walking through the forest toward him to be his special friend and companion. But no one came. As he lies on the grass and thinks about these things, he grows more and more lonely. The earth is so beautiful, the animals so friendly and amusing, but he has nobody to talk to, nobody with whom he can share his thoughts, nobody that is except God. Suddenly, Adam begins to feel very sleepy. This is strange, he thinks. He has never felt like this before. What can be happening to him? He tries to stay awake, but it is no use. Moment by moment, he becomes sleepier and sleepier until at last he can keep his eyes open no longer. The earth, the flowers, the trees, the animals all fade away and are forgotten as he falls into deep slumber. Now God draws near to him, as near as he had been a little while before, when he had breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. With one swift touch of his gentle, creative hands, he removes a rib from the sleeping form before him, closing up the wound with infinite skill. Then the Lord God made a woman from the rib he had taken out of the man. What a strange thing for God to do. He made the sun, the moon, the stars, by saying, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the sky." He made all the fish and birds by saying, "Let the water teem with living creatures, and let the birds fly above the earth across the expanse of the sky." Why didn't he say, "Let there be a woman"? And why, after making Adam the most marvelous creature in his wonderful world, did he take a rib from his perfect body to make his life companion. God must have had a good reason for acting this way. I like to think it was because he wanted Adam to know that his wife was truly a part of him, so that he would always treat her as he would himself. The Bible tells us that God made Eve to be a helper suitable for Adam. Our word, helpmate, comes from this idea, and what a lovely thought it is. Eve was to stand by his side, always helping him, working with him, planning with him, and sharing life's joys with him. Let us watch God at work again. Of Adam's rib, we are told he made a woman. Even as he formed man of the dust of the ground, so now with infinite wisdom and skill, he fashions the one who is to become the mother of the whole human race. How perfectly he molds her long flowing hair with that loving thought he places within her mind and heart. All the tenderness, all the gentleness, all the sweetness, all the endless store of love he wants every woman to have. In less time than it takes to tell, the fairest creature of all creations stands before her creator. Her eyes sparkle with the joy of life, and a tender smile gives her pretty face a beauty beyond compare. Now, slowly and gracefully, she takes her first few steps as God brings her to the man. Wonderingly, she looks down at the sleeping figure before her. Who can this be? Dreaming perhaps of the companion he hopes to meet someday, somewhere in this wonderful world God has given him, Adam stares and opens his eyes. Oh, wonder of wonders! There before him stands someone more beautiful than he had dared to hope for. A being so special, so noble, so altogether lovely that he can scarcely believe that she is real. Looking into your bright, kind, understanding eyes, he knows at once that this is his mate. This is the dear companion for whom he has longed. This man said, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, for she was taken out of man." It is love at first sight. Instantly both seem to know that they belong to each other. Eagerly, they link hands and walk away together. As king and queen of the glorious new earth, they wander through the flower-filled fields, over the tree-studded hills, and down by the wave-swept shore. Together they explore the wonders of God's creation and marvel at the glory of his power. Meanwhile, not far away, silently watching over them in tender love, smiling at their perfect happiness, is God himself. His joy is complete in theirs. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful story. Thank you, boys and girls, and God bless. See you again.